Hello all you half pints out there, and welcome to another Town of Salem guide. This is going to be a little bit different than my normal guides. I was asked to do this by a subscriber. A couple subscribers have mentioned this in the past, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. There's a lot of new players right now in Town of Salem. I'm going to do a general role overview. So for those of you who play this game a lot, or even a bit, or a little bit, this might be all like repeat to you. This might be all stuff that you know. So feel free to click off, or feel free to just enjoy the sound of my voice. So let's get started here. We're on Blank Media's website right now. This is the best way to go to find out about roles yourself. I'm not going to do anything specifically other than add in a couple pointers maybe as I go through the website itself and what the website itself says. So there are two alignments. Or three alignments, I suppose. Four if you include vampires, but vampires hardly even count right now, in my opinion, in this game. Who kind of vibe for power in a Town of Salem game. And the first one, of course, the one that most people are, is the town itself. So these are all the town roles right here. And then here's the second alignment. This is probably the second most powerful alignment too, is the Mafia roles. So the town roles work all together as a team, and the Mafia roles work all together as a team. Then there's a couple neutral roles. The neutral roles don't really work together as a team. They're kind of all out there for their individual self and to make them their own self win. They don't typically work together, but they can work together, of course. Neutral roles are supposed to do anything they have to do in order to win. And that includes being a jerk in chat, like a jester. That includes okay, so vampire is actually considered neutral, but it's under neutral chaos. So maybe there's going to be more neutral chaos roles. I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, all the other roles kind of like are the neutrals are there to kind of help himself. So there's three main alignments then: town, mafia, and neutral, of which the vampire is one. So now we'll go over quickly a brief overview of each of the town roles. So again, the town roles, they don't know who each other are at the start of the game, but their job is to find the evil roles. Any of the mafia roles they have to kill in order to win, and any of the neutral roles that are killing roles, such as the arsonist, the serial killer, the werewolf, and the vampire. They have to kill all those. They don't have to necessarily kill the jester. They don't have to necessarily kill an amnesiac or executioner or a survivor. They only have to kill a witch if the witch can still kill some of the town members off, which is a little bit confusing. That's something that's too intense for this basic of a guide. So let's go over the roles. Bodyguard is a town protective role. A lot of people get town protective and town support kind of confused, and I get it. But bodyguard is a town protective role. Protect one person from death each night. If your target that you're protecting gets attacked, you kill the enemy. Very useful role. I consider a town role with killing power. So I put a bodyguard above a doctor in terms of importance. So then you have doctor, of course, which heals one person. They may heal themselves once. The important thing here is you will know when your target is attacked, which is very helpful to telling it's very helpful in later kind of stages of the game when you learn who is and who isn't mafia or evil. The escort is a town support role. Town support is basically there to kind of assist in town's ability to find people or to stop mafia or other evils from doing bad things. So the escort role blocks a target's action at night. So for example, if you escort a bodyguard, the bodyguard's not able to defend somebody at night. Doctor's not able to heal somebody, etc., etc. So the escort is a good town role, but you really have to focus when you're escort on finding who you think the evil people are and trying to stop mafia from killing by distracting them. Investigator is exactly what it sounds like. You investigate one person each night for a clue. Pretty simple there. The jailer, I think, if you look at some of my other videos, are some of the strongest, if not the strongest role in the game. You choose one person during the day. It's very important to remember as jailer that you have to pick them during the day, or else you won't have jailed them at night. You get to talk to your prisoner, and you can kill him if you want to at night. So, also when you have somebody jailed, they cannot do their night ability. So if you jail the mafia godfather, they can't kill at night. So that's very important to keep in mind too. That you can also be used as like a super powered escort. The lookout is another town investigative role. By the way, jailer is town killing, so it can show up with town killing, but most people put jailer in no matter what. Lookout is a town investigative role. You watch one person every night and see if anybody visits them. That's very useful if you find somebody who happens to have been, say, killed, or especially killed and cleaned or stuff like that. Lookout roles are very powerful, but only if you find people who are visiting other people. You have to be a little bit lucky with it or skillful. The mayor is a town support. This is very important because people don't really think of mayor as town support a lot of times, but mayor, escort, or where's escort? Mayor and escort are both town supports. The mayor gets to reveal themselves during the day, and once they reveal themselves, every vote that they do counts as 3 votes. Now that includes voting them up to the stand, and it also includes a guilty or innocent vote. So if 2 people are voting guilty and you want the guy to be left off, you think he's innocent, you vote innocent on him. That gives him 3 innocent votes, not just 1. So very, very important to keep that in mind right there. The medium is another town support role. The medium gets to speak with a dead person at night, and when they die, they get to speak with a living person 1 time. So don't forget, when you're medium, if you do die, you get to speak to 1 person who's alive and relate the information from the dead to them. Very important, and a lot of people forget about it. But if you choose to do that after you die, make sure you choose somebody that you think is town. Very important. Retributionist is another town support role. As you can see, there's a lot of town support roles. A retributionist reveals or revives, a dead town member. You can only do it 1 time, so after you do it, you kind of become a confirmed town. A lot of people who, after they bring something back to life, they'll whisper them the moment the day starts, "Hey, I'm the retributionist, I brought you back, man." That gives them a confirmed town role, so they can't really be lynched, but they'll probably eventually be either turned by a vampire or killed by Mafia, because they know who it is. It's a retributionist. But definitely save, if you can, try to save your resurrect as retributionist for an important role, like an investigative role, mayor, jailer, doctor, bodyguard. I wouldn't go with like a sheriff. I wouldn't go with a transporter. I wouldn't go with a Vigi. Stuff like that, you know? Sheriff is another town investigative, in my opinion, the weakest of the town investigatives. You check for suspicious activity at night. Basically, you know if they're a serial killer, and you know if they're a member of the Mafia, except for the Godfather. So it's helpful, but you have to definitely pay attention. As any investigative role, you really have to pay attention and make sure that you're investigating people that you think might actually be evil. Spy is another town investigative role. This one I think is the most powerful of the roles, against Mafia at least. Investigator being the second most powerful. You can secretly listen to the Mafia at night, you can hear private messages, and you will know who the Mafia visits at night. If you're playing a spy, keep track of who the Mafia visits, because that means they're probably not Mafia members. They're almost entirely, almost 100% not Mafia members. I've had games where I played at spy where I figured out the entire Mafia because they were the only ones who hadn't been visited at night. Transporter is another town support role, as I said, many of those, which is why they're very common to be claimed by evil people. You choose 2 people to transport at night. They swap them. You may transport yourself, and your targets know they're transported. Now, this is important because you can use a transporter role to keep important members of town alive. For example, if a jailer is alive and all the protectives are dead, you can transport the jailer, if he's a known jailer, or the mayor, for example, to another player's location, trying to keep them safe then. That's really supposed to be the main purpose of transporter, but a lot of times I just kind of transport around and have fun with it. But they can be very dangerous for town. The vampire hunter is a town killing. You basically check for a vampire each night. If you find him, you kill him. It's kind of like a Vigi on steroids, but specifically for vampires. Veterans is a town killing role. You can, by the way, if there's no vampires in the game, you can't be a vampire hunter. You become a Vigi. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, but there's a lot of roles to get there. I'm trying to make this not a super long video. You also have the veteran, which is town killing. You decide if you go on alert at night. When you're on alert, you cannot be attacked or killed at night. However, if anybody that visits you on a night that you're alert dies, that includes town members. So you don't want to be there saying, you don't want to soft claim or hard claim even a doctor or you don't want to claim anything that's going to get town members to visit you at night when you're on alert. You want to claim something that maybe soft claim something that gets Mafia members or neutrals to visit you, but try not to kill your own town members. That's not very good for you. Vigilante is another town killing. Vigilante gets to shoot somebody. They can shoot 3 times. Veteran gets 3 alerts. Vigi gets to shoot 3 times. Once you shoot somebody, if they're not night immune, they die at night. This is a nighttime action. If you shoot another town member, however, you kill yourself at night, the next night. Not very good. Try not to do that. Sounds like that should be pretty self-explanatory. Mafia roles. Okay, so the Mafia role is the second, and these guys know who each other is on the team. When you get into a game, you have all your other Mafia members listed with you. You know what they are, you know what they do, you can speak at night. That's what makes Mafia so much stronger than Town, even though there's so many few of them. So for you, whatever. Anyway, so there's a couple different Mafia alignments within the Mafia. One of them is Mafia support. So this one, the blackmailer chooses one person that they keep silent during the entire day. They can't talk at all during the whole day. A lot of times Mafia will use this to silence people who are investigative roles, or a mayor or a jailer, somebody who's going to be saying something that they don't want. They don't want this person talking, because if they say things, they're going to find out who Mafia is. You have the Consigliere, which is another Mafia support role. This Mafia checks one person each night for their exact role. There's no confusion with the Consigliere. You know the exact role as a consig. Consort is basically the Mafia's version of an escort. They block the target from doing any actions at night. And all these guys right here, Disguiser, Forger, Framer, if there's no killing power left in Mafia, killing power, KP, is basically any role with the ability to kill. So Godfather has 1 KP. Serial Killer has 1 KP. Bodyguards I consider having a KP if used correctly. Vigis have a killing power, KP. So if all of the members of Mafia die that can kill, any of these guys, and even the janitor, will become a killing role. So now that's out of the way. Disguiser. Disguiser is Mafia Deception. It's probably the weakest Mafia role, close to Framer. You get to choose one person on it to disguise yourself with. You take over their body. You take over their persona. However, if they keep a goodwill, you're almost always caught. A lot of times, disguisers will not disguise unless they absolutely have to. Otherwise, they're just used as like a Mafia reserve unit, helping them with votes and waiting to take over Mafioso if necessary. Forge is very powerful. It's Mafia Deception. Choose one person. You rewrite their last will at night. A lot of times, if you're good with Forger, I do have a Forger guide out there. If you're good at Forger, you can actually throw suspicion around in town using your forged wills until they know that there's a Forger there, of course. Framer is another Mafia Deception. You choose one person to frame it each night. If the reason why you do that is if it's investigated, then they will appear to be a member of the Mafia. That's the important part. You try to frame people who you think might be a subject for investigative roles. The Godfather is the Mafia killing. This is the main person, the big head honcho. You kill somebody each night, and you're night immune, which means you cannot be killed by other people at night. You also appear as not suspicious to the sheriff. So, Janitor right here is Mafia Deception. You choose one person each night to clean. Now, what that means is you can only clean roles that have been killed or people that have been killed. So what typically happens is the Godfather will go out and kill somebody, and you will go to the same person and clean their body. You take away their will, and you keep the town from knowing what their role was. Very important role and very strong role too. But it can be caught out if by lookout or by veteran pretty easily if the veteran goes on alert both on the night that they're visited. Mafioso is another Mafia killing. It basically just carries out the Godfather's orders, so the Godfather doesn't have to visit people. This is how ranked mode is played, is with the Godfather and a Mafioso, and then a random, random Mafia. And the reason why you have a Mafioso at all is to keep the Godfather from showing up to a lookout or being killed by a veteran right off the bat, stuff like that. It kind of like shields the Godfather from suspicion. That being said, Mafiosos I feel kind of weak. You know, they're really just there to keep keep a killing role in the game. Neutral roles. Wow, guys, there's so many roles, and there's gonna be more too. Let's keep going though. There's a couple different alignments with neutral roles as well. One of them is neutral benign. Amnesiac is neutral benign, which means it really doesn't hurt town, it really doesn't hurt Mafia. But what they do is they remember a role by selecting in the graveyard at night. So, for example, if there is a doctor that has died, the Amnesiac can then choose to come back as a doctor, as if oh, that's right, I was a doctor before I forgot myself. So that's a neutral benign role right there. A neutral killing role, there's a few of these, and these are the most dangerous for town. They also are dangerous for Mafia, though, so remember that. Mafia always wants to kill these guys, too, when possible. Not always, but most times, wants to kill neutral killing roles. The Arsonist gets to douse somebody each night, or ignite all doused targets each night. They can only douse or ignite in a night. They can't do both. So a lot of times, the Arsonist will spend a couple nights in a row dousing targets, and then third or fourth night, they'll light them up, which means they die. It goes through any kind of night immunities. It goes through heals. You cannot heal an Arsonist attack, etc. You can, however, kill them with a bodyguard if they visit the person on the night that the bodyguard is watching. Executioner is a neutral evil. It's kind of like not a good guy, but can't really kill either. The Executioner's job is to trick the town into lynching your target, who will be a town member. So you kind of want to convince all of town to kill the person that is your target. If your target dies before you get to kill them, you become a Jester. Let's go to Jester. Neutral evil role. You want to actually be killed. The goal of the Jester role is to trick town into voting against you. If they do, you win, even though you're dead, and you get to choose somebody who voted guilty on you to kill. Goes to night immunity and everything. Serial Killer is a neutral killing. So much like the arsonist, they want to kill everybody at night. You are night immune, so you cannot be killed. Also, if you're ever role blocked or jailed and not executed, you kill the jailer or the escort or the consort. So keep that in mind. It's something that you have to watch out for. If you get role blocked, that escort now knows who although the escort's dead, the escort now knows who you were, and if they put in their will, you might have to defend yourself. Survival is another neutral benign. Again, not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. You get 4 bulletproof vests to protect yourself. You can only use 1 every night. You can be killed by the arsonist through a douse. You can be killed by a jailer, of course. You can't vest yourself if you're being jailed. You can vote with either Mafia or Town. A lot of times people kill survivals on site, though, so be careful as Survivor. I always announce myself early on as Survivor, but I have videos about that, too. It's up to you guys. The first and only neutral chaos role so far, which is why I kind of thought they had their own role for a second, their own alignment, is the vampire. Vampire gets to convert others to vampires at night. It kind of like builds a team around them. They vote every other night to bite a target. The youngest vampire is one that visits the target and bites. Kind of a silly role in my opinion. Not very fun right now. It has some issues, but we'll see if maybe there's a fix for it. The werewolf is the last neutral killing role. It transforms into a werewolf during the full moon, but is immune for all night. So you can't be killed at night as a werewolf, unless, of course, by an arsonist who goes through night immunity, or by a jailer. Your attack, though, the werewolf attack does go through night immunity as well. So you can kill serial killers. You can kill targets that are protected. You can't protect against a werewolf kill, really. Wait, can you heal them? Oh, no, you can. You can heal somebody from a werewolf kill. But the doctor then dies as well. So you can, however, heal through a werewolf kill. The doctor dies. Anybody who visits a target dies is very important. So if as a werewolf you visit the mayor and 3 people visit the mayor that night, you kill all 3 people, and also the mayor. So 4 people. And a very possibly strong role. Every other night they get to kill, but they can kill multiple people if you're good. As a werewolf, you definitely want to find people you think are going to be visited. The witch is the last neutral evil role. It's kind of fun, but also a little bit squishy. You control somebody each night. What's good about this role is as the witch, if you find a doctor, you can make the doctor heal you each night. Or if you find a serial killer or a mafia, you can choose who the serial killer or the mafia or anybody, who they attack that night. And that can keep them away from you. Can be a lot of fun. Your victim does know that they're being controlled. So that's important. Once you start controlling people, they know that there's a witch in town. And you can force people to target themselves. So you can have say a mafioso shoot themselves. You could have a what else could we do? Another good example. I suppose you can have a blackmailer blackmail themselves. You know, you can have a sheriff investigate somebody that you want him to investigate. You could have a jailer. If you have a jailer select himself or do the action to himself at night, he actually ends up killing whoever's in the jail that night. So a very powerful role to be used with in alliance with a killing role. So as a neutral evil witch, you want to find the neutral killing role or the mafia, and you want to work with them. That's the best way to win as the witch. So wow, that's a lot of talking, guys, and I know a lot of this for a lot of you probably was too much, but I wanted to give a brief overview on all the different roles, the different alignments, and stuff like that to kind of give you guys an idea for those who may not know about what it is that actually composites Town of Salem. There are other roles planned. There may even be other alignments planned. I believe there should be. And hopefully this game continues to have a lot of growth, a lot of cool people coming in and playing with us. I know that a lot of new players are kind of struggling to get their foothold at first, so that's what this is supposed to be able to help. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that great awesome fun stuff. You know I really do appreciate it. And as always, peace out.